from Canada today, which is the first time we'll be back since our inaugural race in the Midwest F1 League all the way back on July 30th, or 31st if you're in Australia. Many of moons ago, many of races ago, how young we were at that moment, and now we've grown into a three-tier league, with the third tier racing in Canada tonight on the Wednesday night being the first day of your trifecta of race days for the Midwest F1 League has to offer. As I've said before, we start with the Wednesday of the F2 series, which is tier 3. Then we go on to Thursday, which is our tier 1, our number 1 tier. Obviously, with it being tier 1, which tomorrow is going to be at Brazil. No, I'm wrong. There we go. It's going to be at France. There we are. And then our Friday ending up being at Brazil. So yeah, Wednesday is the first day of the race week that we bring you to finish off your week, and to hopefully just steer you into the right track onto the weekend, which is what we're hoping to do. We now have everyone in the lobby, and I am joined today by Monkey Mafia again. If you have a second to say hi, Monkey, please do.
How's it going, everybody? Just trying to get us started here, and we'll get rolling.
Yes, we will. Today we have everyone's in, I believe. Just one reserve for today. Am I? Yeah, just.
Yep. Just the one reserve today. We have Kaz was a no call, so we have OG Northerner filling in for him at the ART. Should be a good one. We also have a couple of new drivers for us in the F2 this week. We have Ted Wayne will be at the MP Motorsport with Cam. Actually, nope, that's the only one. Sorry, just one new driver this week. Kaz was supposed to be a new driver taking my spot at ART, but haven't heard from him, so we're going to get rolling and let OG Northerner have a shot at these F2 cars tonight.
New/old. As he's been in before, but he's also been, and he's just kind of in and out.
Yeah, we appreciate the reserves.
Yes, we very much do.
Usually a week doesn't go by we don't need one or two, sometimes more.
But if you're in chat right now, you can see a couple of the subscribers who have the Midwest 1 month subscriber logo, which we've gotten that up, and as you can see, McCrackerjack as well posting in the other two emotes we have, which is the Raise Energy and the safety car emote. So if you're a subscriber, make sure you pump those emotes into the race when brought up or when something happens. Now, what's your early prediction here for qualifying?
I called it earlier in the chat of over under a 7.5 disqualifications for corner cutting here. So we'll see how many we end up with. Canada's a tough one. I know when we ran the F1 race there was a ton of penalties. So
for sure, I truly enjoy Canada. It's like you said, it can be tough with the amount of corner cutting, but it's still a nice flowing track that has, I think, the average quickest lap time in F1. But something that I'm really looking forward to here. I don't see many cars off unless MX Blockson might spun out there, so he moved down the order quite a bit. Yeah, get those emote. But I actually got a little bit of, well, wait, I've got a little bit of fun notes here. We got 4 disqualifications, unless Kenny and, I'm assuming Kenny and 78 Corvette are going to come across the line here. Narniel and Lord Zed, teammates, coming 1, 2, Asnick 3, the new guy Ted Wayne 4, and El Magico, very familiar face, in 5th. Random Sirius, also a very familiar face, in 7th, followed by Terminal Deity. So good showing by the new guy Ted Wayne there. And yeah, Sauber leading the currently leading the entire constructors championship. Now goes 1-2, looking to stretch that lead here.
Yeah, definitely. They look like the team to go after. Lord Zed has definitely had a lot to say about it in the chat. He's pumped to be out there, and I really don't know who's going to be able to take him down.
No, for sure. Yeah, just seeing a 1-2 qualifying, like how can you argue here? As I think I was at 8 in Terminal DT Mahi Mahi in 9th, Garris Vac in 10th representing Canada, Barry 11th, Cam, Tim Lee, OG Northern, another Canadian, Kenny 78 Corvette, and Enrique, and then the other two are also disqualified, so no lap times will be put up by them. Do you think that they're going to get taken down? Do you think today is the day they're going to get taken down? The Sauber Junior team?
It's tough to get them both. The one thing I'll say, though, is, it comes back to the penalties. Can they keep themselves clean?
Mahi Mahi is leading the Drivers' Championship, but the Sauber Junior team are 3rd and 7th, so a first place by committee here is without one, they wouldn't be in the top, where unfortunately Mahi's teammate Random Sirius, also a very established driver, is down in 11th, which is the difference in the Constructor Championship there.
That's the one interesting thing I've seen with these F2 cars is a lot of those guys who are really strong in the F1 cars struggle a little bit here. It's a totally different animal.
Oh, totally. As now we do have 5 red lights, I guess 10 with the double stack here, and they are out. Both Saubers seem to be getting a good jump, as did Asnick and Ted Wayne. Ted Wayne, Lord Zed going on the outside, Asnick taking a lunge at the inside, not able to get it done. Following down the grid here, Ted Wayne seems to lose out his position and gains it right back on the Best Pawns. His Best Pawns did not take the proper racing line. El Magico looking at to gain a couple positions here. We have a yellow flag through Sector 1 here. We still have quite a bit of wheel-to-wheel driving down the grid here. MX. Oh, Enrique out of the session early. Pulling out the full set of details we have here. Mahi Mahi. OG Northern are picking up a penalty, as those should be served in the pits. We seem to have a lot of chaos down the grid there. Just got some cars parked on the track all the way back there.
Best guess is they got them tires heated up and just can't get them going. I've been there.
Very interesting stuff, say the least, but unfortunately Enrique out early in this race. Yeah, make sure you get those safety car emotes in the chat. I like to see it. But it's just a virtual safety car. We need to have, once we're able to put more emotes in there for a virtual safety car, we need to put some sort of like 2-bit safety car. Random Series into the pit early as his teammate has gained 5 positions into 4th place. JC and Kenny also jumping up a good handful of positions into 8th and 9th, sorry. Sauber Junior team holding their... Ooh, Seaberry unfortunately goes off there and just at the end of Sector 1, or at the beginning of Sector 2. But what are you seeing early? What's your...
Well, it looked like the first couple corners looked pretty clean, and then it looks like the back of the pack got tangled up in some stuff. And it was good to see everybody getting able to get off the line. That's kind of been the problem, is they like to spin off the line, and always seems a lot of carnage right at the front stretch. So it was good to see a start, but it looks like we had some issues, and not a lot of room given. I mean, the front of the pack looked very good. 3 wide into 1 was awesome.
Yeah, totally. But I think I think what must have been Lord Zed. I think he got off the line a little bit slow, and then Asnick actually caught up to him, and then unfortunately wasn't able to hold it. Oh, we're getting a little bit of
now.
we're getting a little bit of rain here.
Oh, it is. That could change everything.
Oh, 100%.
I remember driving these things in the rain. It's not fun.
Oh God, no! I think we've already done a. I think we've done it.
Mexico.
Yeah, it was Mexico.
Yep.
But that was very impressive because I remember we seeing like, we thought it was going to be a little bit worse than it was.
Yeah.
Ooh, Mahi giving a little push on the back of Ted Wayne and will now get third place. Oh, Ted Wayne unfortunately loses it and flies into the wall, as that's the end of his race. 3 laps into his first of the season with the MidWest F1 League.
It looks like JC Blackley's our biggest mover, up 10 spots. Oh! Who was that just got in there? Looks like ZGS came in and did not see Ted Wayne sitting there.
Oh.
Ran right into him. Doesn't look like he's DNF, but car is definitely not moving. There he goes.
Oh.
It doesn't look like we're going to get any kind of safety car out of it, though.
No, we're green now. 2 drivers out, 4 laps in. The best pawn's looking at a little bit of a lunge on Asnick, and he does get it done. Asnick not giving up, but the best pawns does claim that position.
Oh, and Terminal Delty's out. Or Daiti. Let's see.
I think it helps saying a name if you say it in like a Scottish accent, in like Terminal Deity.
I am Irish. I could go Irish on you.
Oh, there you go. Terminal parked right in the middle of the track with his tire sitting on his forehead, it looks like. Did you catch a look at that?
Yeah, just enough. Did not look good.
Ooh.
Random's in for his second stop now.
Oh, do we have a full-blown safety car here? Oh, no, we don't. I think Seabury went off again. What it was. The safety car being the same color as the Renaults, or in this case, the Virtusis on the map, so it's hard to tell which one.
Yeah.
Tim Lee thinking about a little bit of a move on Seabury as they come very pedestrian through this corner here. Going down the casino straight here. DRS now open for Tim Lee. This may be the last lap of DRS. As you can see, the rain is starting to come down. All these drivers are going to be looking at... There you go. You see Seabury come in.
Oh.
They're going to be looking at their tire temperatures now. I think that's... I'm not sure who that is. Random Sirius may have gone off. Random Sirius is the first onto the wets.
Okay, so that's why he took that second stop. I know he stopped early, and now that he's put wets on, it doesn't matter when he stops again. He is no longer required. Oh, and he spins it out.
Those tires must be... I think he was a little bit too early. I think those tires are just a little bit too hot right now.
Definitely.
See Barry going to the wets. Random allowing a couple of drivers ahead, and Tim Lee blocks them to pass as he's nearly a full lap down. Or he is a full lap down on quite a few drivers now.
And while we've been watching all this, Lord Zed's almost up to a 5-second lead over his teammate. His teammate's under pressure, looks like, a little bit. Looks like Jacko and Pons is going to be the closest battle right now.
The best pawn's picking up a penalty.
know all about that. Sometimes you get that pressure from behind and make those small mistakes.
For sure, you can feel that. As you can see, these drivers are starting to lose grip now as the best Pons a little too heavy on his throttle and loses out of position to El Magico.
Looks like Cam just came in, went onto the wets.
Mahi. Oh, Narniel goes way deep, and now you see a Sauber Jr. sandwich of a Campos in the middle, with Mahi into second now. Narniel going very deep into turn 10 there.
Oh, we got Lord Zed and Mahi in the pits now. And Random's back in the pits. Or just coming out of the pits. That'll make 3 stops for him today.
Oh, Mahi, unfortunately, no. Is he able to hold his position? Yeah, Mahi actually loses out to Lord Zed in the pit stops there.
Nope, he was behind Lord Zed. Narniel was behind him. And Narniel
Oh, Narniel stayed out. Oh, yes, I gotcha.
Yeah, Lord Zed had pretty commanding lead at that point.
I gotcha. I mixed up the Sauber Juniors. Now you see about over half the grid coming in for the wets here. Oh, we see 78 Corvette off here. Middle of sector 2. Who'd that be? I think.
Oh, and it's definitely getting wet. Narniel looks like probably just half throttling it to come out of that hairpin. See if he comes in here. Oh, yep, he's in there.
Cam and Kenny doing a little bit of battling for 8th place here. Sitting 2-3 in the Driver Championship in Tier 1. Now battle for 8th place. The best Pawns looking to size up. JC maneuvers a nice little switchback. They do touch coming down the straight. MX blocks it with a 3-second penalty. The best Pawn's able to make up that position and hold it for 6th place. JC is going to try and hunt him back down. Just get right on board with him. Penalties flying all over the place here. Asnick picking up a 3-second penalty and a couple for speeding into the pit there by various drivers.
Oh, that's it, Park. You watch it. No pressure in me.
Cracker Jack, I don't.
Here in the chat.
I see that. Cracker Jack, that's not a frickin' Midwest emote, okay?
I'll give him credit. It is Halloween. I'll take that.
It's festive, but you can't give him a Cracker Jack an inch. Ooh, JC coming into Le Pingo, turn 10 in that hairpin. Swerving to turn 13 into what is technically turn 12 here. Very slightly. Down the casino straight, coming into the chicane of 13 and 14 into the wall of champions. JC Blackley braking very late and cutting that corner. The best Pawns doing a little bit of drifting. But after everything is said and done, JC ends up losing out about a quarter of a second.
It looks like in the whole transition, Arnio lost 2 more spots. Dropped down to 5th from 3rd. So staying out really hurt him.
Now, since we're separated about a full second here, you just let me know unless something happens here, but I found a cool little piece of the wildlife here in the Canadian Grand Prix as we see Cam doing the exact as Vettel. Actually, I'll continue. I'll go into this piece first. So asking these drivers this week about us being at Canada and who thought that Vettel's 5-second penalty last year was deserved, and all drivers who voted on the poll question disagreed with the FIA's ruling of Vettel getting that penalty. So that's one little
Yeah, I think
snippet.
that's a pretty normal vote for most people. Anybody I've ever talked to is on that side too. They don't think it was a fair penalty.
Oh, for sure. I don't believe it was. I remember watching the race last year, and it ruined the last bit of the race as well. Because once that happened, then Vettel needed to gain 3 full seconds, and it just wasn't going to happen. Or he needed to gain 5 full seconds, sorry, as he lost by 2.5. And all Hamilton had to do was just stay within 5 seconds of him for the race. See a couple penalties, but as I was going to say before, there's kind of a little history of the wildlife here on this track at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, a famous Canadian Formula One driver. The track is very well known to having many of groundhogs around, and with many of them being killed. So weeks prior to the race, Cam gets a little bit, no, he doesn't get a little loose, he gets very loose and smashes up into the wall there. He's going to have the Garris back on his back, and he's got a little bit of right wing damage there, just on the outer edges. But the officials trap as many groundhogs as they can around the race course and transport them out of the island. And there's been, just in this one little article alone, there's been 5 different incidences in 1990, 2007, 2008, and 2018, so 4, sorry. And as recent as Romain Grosjean killing a groundhog in the second practice session, coming into turn 13, so just before the Wall of Champions chicane here. So I knew there was a little bit of wildlife problem, but I didn't know that there was that many groundhogs there. Funny enough.
Definitely. The one when you talk about wildlife, the one I was thinking is about Australia and the kangaroos.
Yeah.
I've seen it with the V8 supercars. It's the craziest thing to see a kangaroo hopping across the track. Like, that's just crazy.
Oh, for sure. It always brings a little added humor, I guess, to any like sporting event when you see a wildlife on the field.
Yeah, definitely.
Like for baseball, sometimes you like stray cats that live in the stadium find themselves onto the field or something.
Yep.
Or a squirrel or whatnot. Kenny really putting the pressure on JC Blackley here. Cam going into the pits after receiving a little bit of damage.
Yeah, really spread out here. We only really have 2 battles, or even close. And Narniel is trying to close in on Jacko there.
That'll be
slowly bouncing back out.
Now we've seen Jacko for quite a bit of races. Kenny has that lunge on the inside of Blackley. He gives him space. Blackley holds it around the outside here. Coming through what is kind of a fake turn of turn 12 down the casino straight here. You can see the best pawns in the distance there as these cars go wheel to wheel.
What a battle.
For sure. JC, I don't think he's going to... Oh, he does end up giving way for a cleaner racing line, and Kenny does pick up 7th. With no DRS here, JC won't have any added speed coming down this initial straight. Kenny going a little wide. Both getting a little heavy on the throttle. And we see that gap kind of stay at a half a second here. JC's going to have his hands full trying to make up the ground on Kenny. It looks like he just over pushes there, and now Kenny will go off into the distance as that what was half a second gap turns into a 2-second gap, unfortunately, with JC losing his control a little bit.
Pretty wild how it's spread out so far.
For sure, with only 3 drivers off the grid, you'd think it'd be a little tighter, but this seems to be Lord Zed's race to lose.
As he's pushing a 10-second lead now over Mahi. And then Asnick's going to bring in the 3rd podium, or depends on penalties though. There's been so many I have not caught them all.
Yeah, right. It's hard to keep track of all the podiums and whatnot. Oh.
I'm going to go ahead and jump in and take a look at, see if I can find how many penalties.
Oh, El Magico actually hit the wall of champions there and loses out 5th place. Narniel jumping up, or loses out 4th place with Narniel jumping up. You don't see that often from El Magico, him losing his racing line and making a mistake. He's one of the more clean drivers that we have in Midwest F1 League. Oh,
yeah.
As you see Barry picking himself up off the video, or picking himself up off the wall.
Oh, and he is facing the other way. It's going to be tough to get out of there for a minute. Oh, there he goes. Looks like Lord Zed's got up to 11th or up to 12th place is now down a lap.
El Magico not wanting to lose out on 4th place. He's still within a full second here, or within under a second here. That rain is really coming down now.
Yeah, it's definitely been a damper in the race to a couple people. It's a tough beast to handle when it rains, let alone just the F2 cars in general.
For sure, it's a hard. ZGS says he's still on the Super Softs. Am I seeing something there?
I'm checking right now.
I see the purple tires.
It is.
How is he? How is he driving around on those things? You see how wet it is right now?
And without a stop, if he finishes that way, he would be disqualified. Because technically he would still have to take another set.
Tim Lee passes him. It's such a pedestrian-esque drive going around here on the Super Softs.
And actually, Tim Lee was lapping him.
Yeah.
He's down 2 laps, and Tim Lee's only down 1. You got Random in front of him with 3 stops, and Barry behind him with 4 stops.
And you can see Random Sirius is not too far away from lapping him as well as he comes through Sector 1 there. Oh my, well that's something to keep an eye on. That's so funny, how's he still out there with those tires? But as that happened, it seems El Magico must have made another mistake somewhere, as he's a 1.5 seconds back on Narniel now, as his hopes for 4th place in this race are slightly slipping away here. May want to keep it close in case Narniel has... Well, he does have a 3-second penalty, Narniel, and I don't have any on El Magico.
I don't believe so. And that 1.7 distance is the closest battle on the track right now.
Yeah, right.
Definitely probably the most interesting race we've had for the F2 cars this year.
It's very odd. Like, it's been a very, interesting, I guess. Like you said, it's just it's different. But while we have kind of a break in the action here, I'll plug our sponsor, our collaboration, our partnership here with Raise Energy. Make sure you go check out Raise Energy. We're trying to work on getting a sponsor code or a content creator code for everyone to use. And I'm actually, one of my friends is ordering it to Canada here, so I'm super excited to give it a try. They are unfortunately mostly sold in the States, and you can't get into Canada, but you gotta pay a crazy shipping fee. But we have found a way to get it here, and I'm very excited to start an ZGS. Get slapped again by Random Serious here as he smacks into the wall. One full lap now down on Random Serious. I think 3 full laps on this race. Kenny's changed to softs. What? What is going on?
Apparently old ZGS is influencing people.
He's on to something here, man. He knows something that we don't.
Maybe he saw a groundhog.
Yeah, the groundhog showed its shadow.
And he is drifting.
Oh no, can he save it? That's got to be some sort of mistake. Ask Nick pick up another penalty.
And as Kenny was driving off there on the side out of the racing line, it is standing water almost everywhere.
Yeah, maybe he's just if you just hydroplane all the way around the racetrack, you save on friction.
Somebody get him a boat motor.
MX picking up another penalty. He must have messed up. I imagine we're going to see Kenny come into the pit here once again and change back.
I don't think Jeff listened very well.
No. Jeff had one too many cocktails. Yeah, there you go. Kenny is going back into the pits. He completes one lap. It looks like he's going to lose 2... Where's Tim Lee? Oh, he's only going to lose 2 positions into 11th place, as from Tim Lee is a full lap behind. So what Tim Lee just did there with Kenny having to pit is unlap himself.
Lord Zed's growing it out to 13.5 seconds now. He is really smooth on the rain. If I remember right, he did pretty well in the rain the last time.
Totally. He knows what to have his he knows where to have his car set up at for when it comes to the rain. Unfortunately, the closest battle right here is around 2 seconds. It was Asnick. Now it's the Garris Vac. The Garris Vac making up a little bit of time on JC Blackley. If he keeps it within 3 seconds, the Garris Vac will get 7th place, with him having no penalties and JC having 1 3-second penalty. Oh my, so you have any other fun little notes on this track?
Not a lot. As funny as it is, I enjoyed Canada with the controller, and since I've switched to the wheel, I don't enjoy it as much for some reason. It was the end of September, I believe, or beginning of September.
Oh, okay.
So I made the adjustment, and that was around the time I dropped down to the Series 2. So really put in some time with it. I mean, I'm racing a lot with it, getting used to it. I've been getting better, just getting consistent.
Yeah, for sure. Mahi has third place locked up here with there's 13-second gap between him and Narniel, but he wants a little bit more as he's striving for second place, catching up to Mahi. But unfortunately, he's got a 3-second penalty on top of Mahi, as both of them, Mahi having 1 3-second and Asnik having 2. So unless Mahi were to pick up a 3-second time penalty, then he just pretty much needs to keep this clean from the rest of this race out. Raise energy.
Ooh, and they're dealing with some lap traffic.
I'm a controller racer, and unfortunately for a while there I wasn't able to put in the time that I was hoping to, broadcasting all 3 days and then having other stuff on top of it. Lately I've been able to find myself a little bit of time and get back into driving, which was nice for me.
Definitely, I drive probably too much. Like I said, I've been really putting in a lot of time trying to get that wheel figured out.
I'm not sure if it was you or Clog that said, it's like, well, would you prefer me going out and drinking with my buddies every night, or just being downstairs in the basement driving on my wheel?
No, I was the one that used real racing, so I could go out and be racing for real, spending every night on the car, spending all the money.
Yeah.
Instead, I spent a little bit of money on a wheel and a PlayStation, and here I go.
Exactly that.
Seems to work most of the time.
Oh, Tim Lee looks like he lost it around turn 1 there. As for a second there, we actually had a battle for a position with OG Northerner and Tim Lee, but Tim Lee finds himself off track and is now regaining himself. He's going to come out splitting the best pawns in El Magico. And now splitting the best pawns in JC Blackley. As everyone in this race is trying to gain the exact amount of time between each other as the next. The closest gap we have is 1.5, and from that point it goes up to 3, and then from that point up to 6.5 seconds. So not much racing left here to be done in Canada, with Lord Zed coming through the wall of champions, and he's going to collect another win. And I say another assuming that he has had one before, which I believe he does. Getting another win, and this second win, I guess, this after the second race at Canada. Mahi is going to come over the line as second, but I believe he's going to drop down to third. Asnik actually collecting a full second on him. Oh no, he didn't. He does hold on to second place there. You see Random Series, the first lapped car, coming over in 12th place. Narniel, the second of the Sauber drivers, doing a little bit of swerving into the wall there for celebration, over the line in 4th. El Magico, not having the day he wants, but still a respectable 5th place. OG Northerner coming over in 13th. The best pawns finishing out the wall of champions, coming in 6th place. JC Blackley kind of maneuvering around the casino straight. Actually loses out of position to the Garris Vac. JC Blackley seems to be having quite a bit of trouble here. Not sure what's happening there. But he's going to come over in 8th place. Garris Vac in 7th. Tim Lee in 14th. Kind of some bit of weird stuff going on here in the Canadian Grand Prix, to say the least. Blocks him over in 9th. Cam in 10th. Kenny after that weird pit stop onto the softs in 11th. As all these drivers seem to want to, looks like his rear left is down. Yeah, and it looked like he had something like that going on. I wasn't able to tell. Oh yes, I was gonna check quickly. Asnick and Mahi rounding off the podium, with Lord Zed coming in first. As the Sauber Junior teams have themselves a very solid day, running 1 and 4th. Campos going second. Prima also having 2 in the top 10 and 3rd and 7th, with Asnick and the Gears back. Dams, Art, Carlin, and MP Motorsport and Trident, unfortunately only having 1 in the top 10 today. Our disqualifications, or our DNFs, were 2 for 6, running from Enrique, Ted Wayne, Terminal Deity, 78 Corvette, C. Barry, and ZGS. Tim Lee, the last of the finishers, with OG Northerner, Random Sirius, and Kenny from 14th to 11th, MX Bloxham in 10th, Cam 9th, JC Blackley 8th, the Garris Vac 7th, Best Pawn 6th, El Magico, Narniel, Asnick, Mahi Mahi, and Lord Zed, our podium for today. Asnick. Oh no. Let me see, I think there might be a podium streak here. Yeah, Narniel. Yes, that is 3 straight podiums in the feature race for the Sauber Junior team. Some quality stuff here. And then picking up 2 podiums in the feature in the sprint race, with Lord Zed coming second in last week's sprint. And actually collecting 2 podiums the week before. And then 1 the week prior. So out of the past 7 races now, the Sauber Junior team has been on the podium 6 of the past 7 races, which is quite a impressive feat. Getting onto this sprint race here, the top 8 are flipped. JC Blackley leads the way. Doesn't get off the best. The Garris Vac actually picks up first. JC Blackley not going to give up. It is dry. JC now into second. The Best Pawn's looking at second. Has the inside line and will overtake that position. El Magico into 4th here. JC unfortunately losing off 2 positions early. Got some moving around, some severe collisions as their drivers must have been bumping into each other. Tim Lee and 78 Corvette are at the back of the pack. We have an early virtual safety car. Can I get some safety cars in the chat? Before the safety car's over, let's get some safety cars in the chat if we can. That'd be great to see. A little bit of move in here. Kenny finds himself now into the top 10. Ted Wayne picking up 9 positions. Wowzers, going from 19th to 10th. There we go. There's the safety cars in the chat. Monkey, I believe you're muted if you're trying to say anything there, partner.
Yeah, I might have been.
You may have been. Ted Wayne and Lord Zed were battling here. But, pretty clean way to start this race. C. Barry seems to be the first in the pit. I imagine we see both.
There was about 3 of them who had a little bit of contact towards the back of the pack. I was watching there, and I believe you're going to see Barry, Tim Lee spun. Maybe not all the other wing damage, but I'm guessing Barry probably picked up some wing damage there.
I think so as well. Barry doesn't seem to have that, the full, oh, C. Barry AI, you say? I don't think C. Barry's got his handle yet on the F2 cars here. As he's no slouch when it comes to Tier 1, but when he finds himself way back in the pack here when it comes to the Tier 3 F2 series.
Yeah, it's been, like I said, it's been real interesting to see these guys who are very good on the F1 to struggle in the F2.
For sure, yeah, which makes it weird because it's just something that you're not used to seeing. Like, doesn't seem like Random Series has his full bearings either.
I think you got the three big ones that really stand out to me are Cam, Random, and Barry with the F2 cars. They've really been pushing.
Oh yeah, Cam
Like
for sure.
they're definitely getting a grip on it a little bit better, but and I think some could be I don't know how many leagues they race in, but you race in quite a few leagues, and sometimes you lose track of the F2s trying to practice for F1. So
Yeah, totally.
I see a lot of guys in the chat talking about, oh, I haven't even practiced in this since last week. So
Yeah, for sure. It's tough to get that balance. Lord Zed, you can see there up along the screen, has a pretty good run on MX Bloxham. Ooh, and Lord Zed and MX Bloxham go wheel to wheel with a little bit of touching there. Battle for 8th still well underway. Lord Zed is going to have the inside line. MX Bloxham looking to hang it around the outside. Does a pretty dang good job of it and still holds that wheel-to-wheel line. Both will get DRS, or both were within a second of JC. Unfortunately, the loser of that situation is going to be JC, as he doesn't have DRS. Bloxham is going to have to back out. Lord Zed does cut the first turn going into the Wall of Champions, and unfortunately, with him being the more responsible one, is going to find himself now down into 9th place, with Lord Zed moving all the way up to 7th as JC Blackley loses out into 8th.
and while they're battling, Ted Wayne's come up to him. Take a look at Bloxham now. Good little 4-car battle there. Except Lord Zed's kind of running away now.
Oh, looks like we lost OG Northerner there on the Casino Straight. Ooh, JC loses out to MX Bloxham. MX ends up conceding that position back, as it may have been through a virtual safety car, but I guess he gets the news to take that position once again. As now we see a little conga line forming here from 8th to 10th.
Right along with with Barry there. I'm not quite sure what happened to OG. He was quite a ways from the corner, so must have been Dyson getting ready for the corner and got caught up with somebody.
Yeah, I'm not sure who he would have tangled with, as he found himself pretty deep into the pack there. Oh yeah, thank you for virtual safety car. Or it happened for a second there. Virtual safety car in the chat. Not anymore though. Battle for first still between the Gears and the best pawns. The Gears vac is has found some better fortune, I guess, in a couple of these races when it comes to the sprint race.
Yeah, definitely. It's been fun to see the difference from one to the next. Some guys succeed in the feature, some guys succeed in the sprint.
For sure. Now, like, just off the top of my head, whoa, Ted Wayne and JC go wheel to wheel, and JC nudges Ted Wayne and he loses control and finds himself into the wall. As he picks himself up. But yeah, just going off the top of my head, for Series 2, there's a couple of guys like that who they seem to over push when it comes to the feature race. Then when it comes to the scraps, they just for whatever reason find themselves and are able to collect themselves. El Magico going at the Garris Vac here and actually gets second place. El Magico looking at getting on top of the winning step of that podium. Looking to hunt down the best pawns now. Just under 2 seconds away, so he's got a little bit of work cut out for him.
Yeah, definitely. Kenny's been battling with Narniel here for quite a while. You can see the battle of Garris and Majako up in front of him.
For sure.
Seems like the rain goes away and the line has definitely stayed together a lot better.
Oh, for sure, because you could tell last race Lord Zed, it's as if he didn't make a mistake, where everyone else was just making just 1 or 2 little mistakes a lap, it seemed, and then that gap between everyone was just so open, where now we're 6 laps in here and we still got virtually from 2 to 7 within a second or half a second of each other.
Yeah, definitely some good battles going on there.
The Garris Vac's going to have his hands full with Narniel shooting the inside on him. Looking at getting on top of the podium, doing a double podium here, but Kenny actually enters himself into this party. Not close enough, though. The Garris Vac doing a great bit of defensive work. Kenny, unfortunately, finds himself just off the racing line and off the track, picking up a 3-second time penalty. Narniel thinks about a look at the inside, but opts out. Garris Vac going deep into that corner. Narniel looking at a little bit of a switchback because he's going to get DRS here, and don't think, no, Garris Vac won't be able to. Narniel keeping in the slipstream. Kenny getting a very good run out as they enter the chicane. The Garris Vac gives Narniel the room. Kenny picks up a very good traction. The Garris Vac and Narniel wheel to wheel. Kenny looking at the inside of all 3 of them.
Wow.
Looking at the lunge as we go 3 wide through the hairpin. Oh, Mahi clips the back of Kenny, and Kenny smacks into Narniel there, and he hits the wall. As all 6 of these drivers, or whatever.
Well, Bloxham came and joined the party right there too now.
Yeah, Bloxham made up a position on Mahi as Mahi kind of started that whole thing, clipping the back of Kenny. Bloxham getting a very good run out of the Wall of Champions. Actually, Mahi getting the better one. Mahi looking at the outside, finding himself going very deep off the track. Bloxham will get 6th place. Kenny will get back 7th. Mahi now falling back down to his position of 8th, with JC Blackley now within a half second of him as well. As that whole group of cars from 3 down to 8th or 9th that I said before all decided to just come together on that final sector there.
Yeah, that was some good racing there, and then just one mistake kind of sucked it all up, and now they're rolling again. Here we go, and I think Mahi really made a bold move there on the turn 1. He had a good run, but he touched the grass as he was going in there. I was on board with him, and he just definitely lost control.
Yeah, we had, what was it, 3 wide with, was it the Garris Vac, Narniel, and Kenny, I believe it was?
Yep.
I think, yeah, Kenny, unfortunately, he was in 5th and then dropped down to 7th. With that little clip from Mahi into turn 10 there, just kind of sent everything for a loop as you see Kenny kissing the Wall of Champions and losing a little bit of that right wing. Kenny and Mahi very familiar with each other in Series 1 here, still wanting to battle for 7th place. JC Blackley in 9th, just watching this all take place. 9 laps in, over halfway through this race. We only have 1 DNF so far.
The thing I'm seeing here is Narniel and Lord Zed sneaking up towards the podium again. Narniel's hunting down Garris Vac with Lord Zed right behind him.
The best Pawns is another guy who just kind of finds his groove. Narniel getting a very good run out of that chicane of 8 and 9. The Garris back looking to defend the inside. Narniel, shout out to M&M, looking to go around the outside. Not able to hold it, but will get DRS. Coming down the casino straight. The Garris back does not get it. Narniel should be able to collect third place into the podium as he goes on the inside line and will take it. Able to keep a clean racing line and holds a position. With the Garris back now going to have to deal with Narniel's teammate of Lord Zed for fourth place now.
Yeah, the Sauber team here really proven that they're the team to beat.
They're so consistent. What, Nick, you didn't like that one? I thought that was pretty good. Nicky gave me a yikes for my M&M comment there. I thought that was pretty good. We see one of the BWTs.
I believe that's Tim Lee. Lord Zed looks like he's going to have a good run here. Going to have the... Ooh, and he spins, or slides out.
Now he's going to find himself losing out to Bloxham here.
Bloxham sneaking into the picture here.
For sure, he's finding himself some very consistent pace into this sprint race. Now having his sights just about 3 seconds away from a podium position for him.
Yeah, he's one that's, you know, he said the F2 cars are just his fun league, but it's got to be frustrating. He's had some bad luck this year, and then he missed out on the race. Was it last week with the server update?
Yes. Yeah, a lot of people are having to fight that. I remember that. Completely forgot about that.
He's had some bad luck this year. I think he's fast in these things. Just
for sure, he can
put it together.
Well, yeah, you saw him in Hungary actually getting pole and like blowing everyone away in pole. Now having to work its way through the traffic. Random Sirius in 9th place, so him finding a little bit of race pace here, going into the top 10 now. Which in Tier 1 wouldn't be a surprise, but in Tier 2 it's not the driver who he is. Oh, Terminal Deity, we did lose. Who is that? Is that ZGS coming around? I think maybe we can get a look on board with C. Barry here. No.
I think he pulled into the pits and retired there. Looked like he might have been on pit lane.
Ooh, as we see two cars potentially going to wheel. The Garris Vac and Lords that actually wheel to wheel down this front straight coming into turn 1 here, with the Garris Vac having the inside line. Lord Zed shooting it, but unfortunately shooting it right through the grass. He's going to have to give up that position as he does. Garris Vac holding on to 5th place, with MX Bloxham now in 4th, 3 seconds away from his first podium in the Midwest F1 League, because I don't believe he has collected one in Tier 1 yet. Yeah, in all honesty, he is a guy who can get a podium. He has I think he's got the pace and everything to get it, but he just finds himself a little unlucky.
Still a good battle there going from, what is that, 5th to 8th. Seems like that's been the whole race. Those positions have been battling.
Now going all the way back to the first race in Midwest F1 League in week 1 of Tier 1, back on July 30th, Brian Mosser won that race with Cam coming second, so very different from what you see here today, as Cam is down in 11th. F2 is just not his car. Speaking of Cam going to wheel with the Random Series, who actually ended up finishing third in that race, so a little bit out of these guys' comfort zone, who's battling for 10th place and not for second and third or first here. But Kenny also, as he's down in 9th, was fourth that race. So lots of different positions from our very first race back here than where we are today.
And Kenny's been fast in these. He got in kind of late today in the lobby, and I think maybe rushed himself, and he's just not having a good day. But he has been quick in these. He's
For
usually
sure.
one of the favorites. Jacko's got that down to just over a second now. That was about 2 seconds earlier, but it's going to be a little bit too late, I think.
Yeah, Kenny did collect a couple of podiums early on in the season here, but the last couple of races hasn't been able to find the same form. As that guy is an absolute podium psycho, finishing consistently in second and third, and then finally getting that inaugural win at Hungary.
And I believe he
ago.
got fast lap in the first race here, and he has been a fast lap master. I'll have to go back and look, but he has a bunch of them. Best Pons has a bunch of them. But it looks like in this race, Random Sirius has got it.
Ooh, we're on the last lap here, coming through the hairpin. El Magico is going to get DRS coming down the casino straight for first place. I don't have any penalties from either of these, so I think this is just being a straight sprint to the finish. We're wheel to wheel here. El Magico having the inside line and having the DRS. Ooh, the Best Pawn shoots it around the outside. There's still a decent bit of straight for El Magico, able to make this time up. Looks at the outside, but the Best Pawn's actually had several time penalties, and El Magico must have known that, as he didn't really opt to truly fight that out, as we see a lot of jumping up and down. Narniel collecting what is a podium. El Magico getting his win. And then follows the Garrus Vac in fourth, Mahi Mahi fifth, Lord Zed, as we get another, I guess, 2 top 6 finish from the Sauber team.
And I believe Bloxham lost 3 spots there. I believe he was fourth.
I think he was as well. Speaking of Bloxham, down in 7th, JC in 8th, Random Series in 9th, Cam in 10th, Kenny losing out due to penalties in 11th, Asnick in 12th, Enrique 13th, Ted Wayne not having a day to remember here as his first day in the MidWest F1 League, down in 14th, C. Barry 15th, Tim Lee 16th, followed by his father 78 Corvette in 17th. And with 3 DNFs today was ZGS, Terminal Deity, and OG Northerner. All in all, a much more exciting race than what the first race was, or the feature race.
Yeah, definitely. That was a lot more exciting, a lot more racing.
Oh, 100%.
That first race just got so spread out.
Yeah,
and, that's when you have to break out the wildlife fast.
Yeah, you need to throw a couple of gophers onto the... Or groundhogs, sorry. A couple of groundhogs onto the track and see if they can spice it up a little bit.
We have to make sure to talk to Stat tomorrow about the kangaroos.
Yeah, 100%. Do we even have... I don't think there's one in any of the schedules. Okay, yeah, so Australia does finish up the Tier 2. I was about to say, I didn't see Australia on any of the schedules, but it's the very last race of the Tier 2 league for Friday nights. But yeah, Enrique picking up driver of the day for the sprint race. Pound those Raise Energy emotes into the chat. Yeah, like I said, much better here. We got the results for both. Looking at the feature race going back, Lord Zed, Mahi Mahi, and Astnik going 1, 2, 3. And then in the sprint race, El Magico with the best pawns in Narnial. So the Sauber Junior team picking up 2 podiums today, each races, and I think I went in 7 of the last 8 races they've had a car podium in, so absolutely psychotic pace that they're on. Looking to keep up as they have the top 2 point getters of the day. So just crazy stuff from the Sauber Junior team is someone's got to figure out how to catch these guys as they just know exactly what they're doing here.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be tough to catch up to them if they keep doing that.
Oh, 100%. It's I don't I don't understand how these guys can figure out the F2 cars so quickly. It just seems that they have compared to everyone else. They just have that Michael special stuff. But actually, that was the last race of the first half of this Series 3 year.
Yeah, definitely. We had a short season. It was kind of a last minute decision by Pork and I to do this thing, and so we kind of threw it together. We'll have some changes coming up for season 2. Definitely spice it up a little bit. But it's been good to see. We've been getting full grids, and we just had the 1 week where we had the PSN update. Otherwise, we've had full grids every week, and it's good to see, especially running 3 series and for a league. It's good to see we're seeing the full grids all the time.
Yeah, 100%. It's nice to see having solid turnout. I think other than that, this group of guys have been very good with that. I think barring 1 week in the series 2, I think that was week 2 actually at France. Yeah. Other than that, we've been seeing like very solid turnouts here, which is just like I said, it's good to see. It's what you want to see from a good group of guys like this, and it just carries over to solid product onto the track, which is what we do see.
Yeah,
And
definitely, and I like the how we mix them. You know, we got some Series 1, Series 2 guys. Got some guys that don't run either. It's been a good mix and kind of created kind of comfortable racing. A Series 2 guy gets comfortable with a Series 1 guy before they go move up. So it's been good to see.
for sure, 100%. But anywho, any last thoughts for you on this midweek uh, first step into the Midwest F1 League?
No, I'm ready for tomorrow night. Going to France, track I'm fairly comfortable with. So hopefully we can
That's
pull
good.
one out. I think that's another one of those that keep it clean, don't get the penalties, because I know we had our with the F2 race there it was a lot of penalties there too. So as always, the key, keep it clean.
For
What I
sure.
always go for.
As it seems to be the challenge in some of these races is just to keep your nose clean and just try and finish the race with the least amount of penalties as possible. And usually you see some guys who over push and overextend find themselves down the grid.
Definitely.
But anywho, that will be the end for our Wednesday night here, as we saw not the most exciting first feature race there, but the sprint race definitely made up for it, as we saw a battle all the way down from 1 to 10 the entire race, which was very exciting stuff. Next week, you can find us in Brazil, which will be the first/second time that the Midwest F1 League has been there. Tomorrow night, like Monkey just said, will be in France, which I prefer. I personally really prefer that track. And if it's wet weather racing, as I turn into Elmer Fudd again,
Don't say wet weather.
wet weather racing. Oh god, it's gonna be. I think France turns into a very exciting track once it starts raining. When it's dry, it's still a very good track with a lot of passing opportunities. But when it turns into wet, I think just absolute chaos happens. So I'm hoping to might get another wet race tomorrow. And then to end your Midwest F1 week, In Series 2, we find ourselves in Brazil. I guess, okay, that'll be the second time slash first time. And then next week, Wednesday, will be our third slash fourth or whatever. But, like I said, please tune in tomorrow. Please check out Raise Energy. Please check out our Twitter for all of our updates and standings and results and schedules. And, yeah, make sure you give us a follow. Unless I missed... Can I check? Oh, no, I need to figure that out. But anywho, if you followed us today, very much appreciated. We are now at 60 followers, which is a nice little milestone. Hopefully we can get up to 70 by the end of this week. That'd be great to see. Please tell your friends, please tell everyone about this Midwest F1 League, as this is a very solid community that has a lot of hardworking guys and a lot of solid racers who really would enjoy and do appreciate your support. So please do that if you will, and hopefully we'll be seeing you tomorrow night starting at 6:30 Pacific, 9:30 Eastern, 12:30 now with daylight savings time in Australia, 2:30 a.m. I believe in UK, as I'm getting pretty good at my time zones here. But yeah, hopefully we can see you all tomorrow. So with that being said, good night everybody.